All right, aloha, friends. Welcome to another episode of Game Time with the Goss by GM Sports Media. I'm your host, Brian Gossett. We're back here on Monday. Hopefully, you enjoyed your Super Bowl Sunday. Let's back to work. Today's guest, she's the head softball coach at Melissa High School, entering her third season. Melissa going 25-8 last year with a trip to the regional semifinals. Head coach Cassie Crabtree, she joins me now. Thanks for joining me, Coach Crabtree. How you doing?
Yes, I'm doing good anytime.
Awesome. Well, season opener officially starting today, Monday. I know your season opener is tomorrow, Tuesday. Um, but let's talk about Melissa. This is your third year at the school with the program, and Melissa's kind of quickly growing. Your first year being 4A, now your second year here in 5A, and it seems like the school is just going to continue to grow. Just what has these last 2 or 3 years been like?
Absolutely. This place is definitely growing so much. It's just a great place. The facilities, the people, what they do for our kids. It's just a great place to live. Outside of McKinney, you still kind of feel like you're a little bit country. And you have huge facilities and you have great programs. I mean, every program here is starting to kind of climb. And so, it's just kind of championship mindset. And that's kind of what we've been in softball. We've had a great run the last 3 years or the last 2 years. And I know previously before me, it was they left a legacy as well. So, doing the right things, working hard, brings great things ahead and brings success.
Again, you guys reached the fourth round last year, just in your first season as a 5A program, and only one senior on that group. Just what did you take away from that year last season?
Oh, we had a great year last year. I've been really young the last 2 years. My first year here, I think I started 7 freshmen. And we made it to the regional finals. So they got some great experience. You could definitely tell the inexperience that year got them when the lights were bright in that final game to go to state. And then last year, bumping up to 5A, you never know what it's going to bring, but they definitely competed and had a great season and grew up and, matured a little bit. And I think this year, those freshmen are now juniors and it's they're ready. I mean, they're ready. They think it's their time. They're ready. They know what's ahead of them. They know what to expect. And we've got some young ones who they're leading really well right now.
Yeah, very experienced bunch. Again, only losing one senior. Um, I guess we'll start, kind of the quarterback, if you will, of the team in the circle, Alex Starr. This is now year three, I believe. She's committed to Michigan State. Just what's it like to have someone like that in the circle?
Oh, she's amazing. She is one of the most competitive kids that I've ever coached. She's gritty. Nothing ever really phases her from start to end. She's gonna have the same emotion, the same demeanor, and that bulldog mentality. She throws for power. She's consistently worked on her changeup the last couple years. She's really worked on a drop ball the last couple years to add in, and her rise ball, we know is just amazing. So she's starting to add a lot of different stuff. So I think this season, just like any season, she's going to be dominant. She's going to compete in the circle and always going to give us a chance. And knowing that you're always going to have a chance is a pretty good feeling. She can compete with anybody. She plays high level year round, and she's definitely has what it takes to get us to the state tournament.
Yeah, talking with Cassie Crabtree, softball coach of Melissa, who enters the season number one in 5A for our site, GM Sports, as well as number one in 5A in DFW Fast Pitch. Um, I know a lot of coaches, don't look at those rankings, but to get sort of that praise here to start from some of these outlets, what does that mean?
Oh, it's huge, and it's huge for our program, for our kids, and it means a lot. We put a lot into it. I have a lot of awesome kids. I have a lot of newcomers that a lot of people haven't seen, which is I think is going to be great for our program as well. But it's just awesome to know the work that you put in, to know that your kids are working so hard for it to get that recognition is awesome.
Just for some people that may not know you, again, third year with Melissa, but sort of what's your softball background before that?
Kind of been everywhere. I played college softball, and then I actually coached at my first coaching job was at Forney High School, which I graduated from Forney High School. So I coached 3 years at Forney and made a lot of good runs, had a lot of great players there, and then went to the collegiate level for a couple years. Um, and then kind of moved out to Central Texas for a couple years and coached there, and then came back this direction to be closer to family, and ended up in Melissa. I coach a USA 12U team as well in the summers.
How did the Melissa job kind of get on your table?
I can't really remember it. My family lives in Forney, so um, probably one of my coaching buddies and somebody out there was like, "Hey, the Melissa job's open. It's up." I never really heard of Melissa, before. I thought it was a small, town that, I never heard of it. So when I came here, I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy." And kind of what their plans were, what their vision was, um, the culture, the championship mindset. It just really sold me.
Awesome. Why don't you kind of run down sort of what's coming up? I know season opener uh, officially on Tuesday. Who do you
Mhm.
play? What's sort of the details, and then what kind of tournaments are you in this year?
Yeah, definitely. We start up with Wiley East tomorrow. And then from Wiley East we head into the Forney tournament, which we've been in the last 3 years. It's a good tournament. We play a lot of really good teams. Idle does a great job there. We love the format. I think there, I can't remember. I haven't, because after that we go to Allen and play some really good teams, and then we finish at the Wiley tournament. And I'm really excited about our tournaments this year. We play, I think, off the top of my head, South Grand Prairie, um, South Lake, Allen, Alito. Um, I know there's more in there that are really good. But we play some really good teams in this tournament, which I think is going to be really good for us because I am a mix. I've got a lot of young ones that I think will step in for me. I have older ones, try some new stuff out, and really by district time see where we're at.
Yeah, I was looking at your playoff run last year again to the fourth round, and I believe you got each round. It was a one game series.
Yeah.
What just besides the obvious with versus one versus three, but just what's kind of the difference between one game series and a 3 game series, and what do you prefer the one gamers?
Well, I don't prefer them, but um, for what I had, and as a coach, I think you look at, okay, what do you have? What's your depth look like? Um, you know, what gives us our best chance to win? For us, we knew that Star was our dominator, right? And so we felt like we had a chance with anybody at one game. At one game, we have an absolute chance with anybody, and we'll take that chance. I had some kids who could come up big offensively, and we were going to take that chance. I do think this year will be a little bit different. I think I have depth. I have depth hitting, I have depth fielding, I have depth on the mound, which is going to be something that we haven't had as much of in the past 2 years. So I'm super excited. I don't I don't have to be like, oh my gosh, it's one game, you know. But it was kind of funny because the girls ended up, you know, by the last game, they're like, oh my god, we love one games, you know. I'm sure, um, and I've told them this year it's going to be a little bit different. We might can go 3 games this year, and they're like, "What, really?" You know, so they kind of like the one games, but I think this year definitely will be different, and we'll definitely have a different look in the playoffs this year.
Yeah, and the regional semis was Frisco Heritage, wasn't it 1-0?
1-0, and they scored in the sixth.
Yeah, so definitely a good game, good pitching matchup with Alex
Yeah,
and Jensen Hall. So,
it was definitely an awesome game. It was.
and I think the round before you beat Forney.
We beat Forney the round before. Um,
What was that like? I mean, that was your first, probably your first playoff matchup with your alma mater.
Yeah, it was definitely bittersweet because I grew up in Forney my whole life. I definitely have a piece of Forney in my heart, but it was great. You know, my kids came out firing that game offensively. Um, but it definitely was a good win. I still have a lot of people that I know in Forney, so it was a good week for sure.
So Melissa's in District 13 5A right now. Some other teams, McKinney North and Lovejoy, Greenville, Denison. Um, I'm sure there's a couple others I'm missing, but if you know, you have a lot of confidence in your team, so let's just obviously pencil you in for the postseason. But uh, who do you see as the other three teams that could make a playoff berth in 13-5A?
Yeah, you know, our district, we have a gritty little district. You know, Lovejoy is always good. Their coach good. Their pitching is gonna be good. I know they've got 2 pitchers. Their shortstop's really gritty. He'll definitely have them prepared. That they'll be good in our district. McKinney North, that coach does a great job. I know last year, I mean, they played a lot of people really close. Their pitcher, I think, was a freshman last year, and she did a really great job on the mound. And they had a center fielder that I think was their leadoff. That was definitely a tough out. You know, Sherman, they are good. They can hit. They I would say they probably hit at the very top in our district. You know, they've got definitely good hitters in their lineup. So I think they'll end up making a run in our district as well.
Yeah, talking with Cassie Crabtree, softball coach with Melissa. Um, I've asked a couple coaches this, just sort of the parent and child dynamic from you, mom and daughter, with Kagan, who's committed to Texas. Um, what is that like? Just trying to balance, being a parent and coach.
You know, it's got its pros and it definitely has its cons, you know. But I've coached her for a really long time. You know, I coached her select team for the Bombers for a long time until 14U. Um, so you know, we've always had that mom and daughter relationship, and I feel like she knows, you know, like I'm probably definitely the hardest on her. She definitely takes the rest of a lot of stuff. And there's been many nights where I have to apologize for that. But she's awesome, and you know, she gets it. She's because once it's over, and that's the thing with me. Once it's over, and we go to the house and we never bring it up again, you know. But I definitely think that she takes it well. She takes it well. You know, I tell her all the time, I'm like, shoot, college is gonna be a breeze because I definitely stay on her. So, but I wouldn't change it for anything. You know, I mean, it's we are very close.
Is it safe to say that it's kind of like having sort of an assistant coach out there when she's playing because she just you and her click so well?
Yeah, absolutely. She definitely knows, and the older she gets, it's like she knows what I'm gonna say before I even say it. So definitely, I think so.
Again, she committed to Texas. Um, kind of at what age did you how old do you think she was when you kind of could see like, okay, she could be serious about softball and she could continue in college?
It's kind of funny because Kagan's a little bit different. Like I, she's always loved the game. So my number one goal was to, get the best people that I could possibly find and put them around her. Like let's make the best team. Let's put the best people around her. Especially in select and when she was kind of coming through. You know, I need somebody who's always gonna push her, be better. And I would say through 12 and she wasn't the best player. She I would say in eighth grade was about 5'2". So she was still pretty small, right? And so then about going into ninth grade, she just shot up and there comes that little awkward baby giraffe stage because she grew like out of control to 5'11", 5'2" to 5'11" or whatever. And so she's like, what is going on with my body? How do I move it? I was like, oh my gosh, what is going on? But then, I would say probably right before her freshman year, I was like, okay, I mean, her fundamentals are just there. She hits for so much power. We have a chance. But I definitely wasn't ever going to let her know that we haven't had a chance up until September 1st. I was like, you got to be prepared. I mean, you don't know where you're going. You could be, we're just fighting for a spot on a college roster. So I definitely, we weren't, we weren't, our mind wasn't set on that. We were just trying to make it.
Yeah, I definitely know the giraffe feeling. Going from 5'6" as a freshman to 6'3" as a senior. So
Yes, so you know what it's like. As a parent and a coach, I was like, this is not the right time, Kagan, to be a baby giraffe.
well, we
But
know
it all worked out.
we congratulate her for committing to UT, even though me and the chocolate bear are Sooner fans.
She's telling me we are cracking up about that.
We don't mind. We'll cheer for her.
I know she's gonna have to get y'all a hook'em shirt.
Yeah, we'll discuss that later. Couple more here. I don't know if you had a chance, UIL realignment. I'm jumping ahead to the next 2 years already, but I don't know if you had a chance to see the realignments. I know softball officially, probably comes out a little later, but for the most part, very similar to volleyball and basketball. Uh,
Right.
have you had a chance to see the new district and your thoughts? I know you're moving from District 13 to District 9, but uh, district wise, it's pretty much the same teams. You have Anna, who comes up from 4A, and
Mhm.
Walnut Grove, uh, which is
Yeah.
a new school. They'll be in your district, but
Yeah. I think Walnut Grove is gonna even surprise some people this year. They're gonna be good. I know a lot of kids on that roster and they're definitely gonna be good. It's gonna be a good one added to our district. I always say I would rather have a tough district that is very competitive to prepare me because it's never easy. And so if you have that tough games and those kids hit some adversity early, it makes it a little bit better for your team come playoff time. So I'm excited about the new district. I think Walnut Grove is definitely going to be a good addition to our district and going to give us some good competition and I like it. I like it.
yeah, I know the Walnut Grove is third in DFW fast pitch, and
Yeah.
um, I didn't even rank Walnut Grove, so they're probably going to
Right.
surprise me this year. And Anna's always good in 4A, so coming up in 5,
Yeah.
that'll be a real competitive district. I know
Yeah.
you guys eventually have to do some traveling in the playoffs, but the one that was kind of weird to me was District 10 is the East Texas district, the Lufkins and the Hallsville. So it's like, uh, you know, right off the bat, round one, you're gonna have to travel. So that's the only one that kind of was a head scratcher to me. But
Yeah. Well, this past year we had to go down to that Houston district. So we had to play Porter second round,
yeah,
which Porter is in Houston. I think they ended up beating Hallsville or Longview. And so then we ended up playing Porter second round, which their pitcher, she's committed to Duke. So that was a tough one for us. But so it's crazy.
So is the hair a coincidence or is this softball hair?
I always like the red. My kids are so I haven't got it done in a while. So my kids kept going, Crabtree, you really need to get your hair done. Like softball season is coming. You need to get your hair done. So I had to spice up the red a little bit more.
But is this? I mean, I know Kagan is blonde, so is this natural?
Oh no, definitely not natural.
This is softball, Melissa Red.
Yeah, yeah, Melissa Red. Yes,
Okay,
yes.
well, I like it, and it's kind of OU color. So
No, 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 don't go there. We're going more orange. No, just like
well, awesome. Again, remind us again, what do you got going on this first week of the softball season?
we play Wiley East tomorrow, and then we'll hit the Forney tournament this weekend and play some tough teams. I'm excited. We play Alito. That'll be a good one. I'm looking forward to that. I think, and like I told you earlier, I've got some young ones. I have also a transfer kid in from Rock Hill that's going to be big for us. Paisley, she's coming back. She's going to be big for us. And I have another freshman pitcher that I think is going to do extremely, extremely good things this year.
Awesome.
Yeah, and a catcher. My catcher is a freshman that we've kind of missed the last 2 years. Catching spot. I had to make a catcher. I didn't have a catcher the last 2 years. I mean, I come in my first year here and I have one of the best pitchers in the state, and I'm like, nobody catches. Like, we don't have a catcher. Like, how is that even possible? But I had an older kid who was like, I'll do it, coach. So she worked her butt off and did a great job for us. But I have a powerhouse behind the plate this year, so I'm excited about that.
Awesome. Well, we're looking forward to it. And remind us again, just time and place tomorrow against East.
At home, at 6:45.
Awesome. Well, we wish you the best of luck. Thank you so much for hopping on and talking about the season. And I know me and Kenny Chocolate Bear, we'll be looking forward to coming
Awesome.
out watching you guys play.
Awesome. Thank you guys for all you do.
Awesome. That's Cassie Crabtree, head softball coach for the Melissa Cardinals. Again, softball season officially, regular season officially starts here Monday, and we got tournaments here later this week. So good luck to all the teams in DFW and across the state. For Brian Gossett at GM Sports Media, this is another episode of Game Time with the Goss. Aloha, and we'll see you next time.